So King's Fall is a new raid, not confirmed as of yet, but as of the making this video, it's 2 days before the new season and a few days after the new season releases when the raid comes out. King's Fall is going to be the raid, so let's go over my loadout. From the beginning, from when we load into the raid, all the way up to totems, this is the loadout I'm going to be running. We have Escape Velocity, Overflow Osmosis, we have Forbearance, Unrelenting Chain Reaction, and we have Gallahorn. I'm also running a Stasis Warlock with the Osmiomancy Gauntlets. I'll be running these abilities, these aspects, Bleak Watcher and Ice Flare Bolts. And the fragments, we have Fissures, Torment, Refraction, and Endurance. Now, the mod setup I have for it, we have Elemental Time Dilation, so when I proc Explosive Wellmaker and pick up a Solar Well for Well of Life, instead of the original 10 seconds you get from it, Elemental Time Dilation extended to 13 seconds. Reactive Pulse, because enemies are going to hit hard, especially in contest mode, Reactive Pulse and Finisher Bulwark, where I get a powerful overshield while performing a finisher, is going to come in handy. Now, this is from beginning all the way up to totems. When it goes to totems, I'm going to be swapping the loadout out a bit. Not Starfire, we need Phoenix. When it comes to totems, we'll be rocking the Phoenix Protocol loadout. Seeing as there'll be a well lock, it's beneficial that when we kill ads in the well, I get at least half my super back through Phoenix Protocol. And then obviously, depending on if we're going to face Anti-Barrier Hive on the ledges, I might swap from Forbearance to Uzume to deal with that. Because we were given the artifact mods early, we were given a preview of them early, Anti-Barrier Sniper is one of the anti-barrier options for next season. So if it comes to that, I'll swap over to Uzume to deal with that. If not, I could probably swap over to Crate, or maybe even Succession, who knows. So, if that is the case, Forbearance will be swapped over to Uzume, and that'll be my totems loadout. Now, when it comes to War Priest, War Priesters are going to be a bit different. War Priest will be running Lunar Faction well. And with War Priest, I'm going to be running a different loadout. We have Commemoration, Divinity, Fatebringer. Now, the reason I'm going to be running Divinity in War Priest is because War Priest doesn't have the greatest of crit spots to hit. It's got a big head, yes, but compared to bosses like Golgoroth and Oryx, where their weak spot is a big hole in the chest, or a big area in the chest, Divinity is going to help with War Priest more so than Golgoroth or Oryx. The reason I'm running Commemoration is because if I am the aura holder by chance, then I need to get a kill to extend the aura's timer, so therefore I'll extend my team's damage, and doing so will make sure that my team does the best damage possible for the longest amount of time. And Fatebringer is just to clear out the trash mob, so the Thrall, the Cursed Thrall, if we get up to that stage, the Taken Thrall as well. So that is my War Priest loadout. Now, when it comes to the Golgoroth, I'll be running something else completely different. Storm Chaser, Sweet Sorrow, and Izanagi's Burden. My Storm Chaser currently has Enhanced Battery, or Ionized Battery, with Auto-Loading Firing Line. The reload is 5, but am I ever going to reload this? Probably not. I'm going to use this for the elongated damage, and swap over to Izanagi's to bring in, or to push out the extra burst of damage that I can't do when Storm Chaser is auto-reloading from reserves. So I'll empty out Storm Chaser, or empty out a mag of Storm Chaser, swap over to Izanagi's, and then keep going until damage is over. If I happen to be the gaze holder, then I'll use Sweet Sorrow to shoot Golgoroth's back, capture his gaze, and let the team do damage. Now, the armor set is not going to change from War Priest going forward, because it's going to be the same thing throughout the encounters when it's in normal mode, or normal contest mode, and challenge modes. So that is my Golgoroth loadout. Let's go over to Daughters. For Daughters, I'm running Sleeper Simulant, Nation of Beasts, and Succession. I might swap out Succession for something like Thoughtless, or if I get the good roll for Tranquility, I might swap over to that. The reason I'm going to be running Nation of Beasts is because the Taken Centurions have arc shields. And to deal with those arc shields, it's better to use an arc weapon. Could I use Sweet Sorrow? Yeah, maybe. But I can't use Divinity because that's going to be taken up by an exotic slot, Sleeper Simulant. If by chance we're not hitting the crits properly and we keep wiping over and over, I will swap over to Commemoration Divinity and maybe Escape Velocity to cover the primary ammo slot. But this is what I'm going to be running for the Sisters encounter, the Daughters of Oryx. And finally, we are going up to the Oryx encounter. We have Crate, we have Empty Vessel, and we have Xenophage. Now you might be thinking, why this loadout? Well, let's be honest. If it turns out there are no unstoppable ogres during the Oryx fight, because I can see totems and Oryx having champions when it's just normal mode. So if there are no unstoppables in Oryx and there are champions in an earlier encounter, then I use Crate to do damage to Oryx's chest. But if there happens to be unstoppable ogres, Unstoppable Pulse Rifle is one of the 2 unstoppable mods for next season. So if that happens to be the case, I can swap over to Peace of Mind and take care of the unstops that way. If my theory is that 2 random unstop ogres spawn on random or set plates, then the other 2 ogres will be just regular ogres. So I can use Blinding Nades to blind them and Xenophage to take them out. Xenophage is going to be used regardless to take out the ogres, whether I have to stun them with the Peace of Mind or blind them with the Empty Vessel, because Xenophage makes it much more easier to do so. And that is my generic loadouts for when it comes to the encounters in King's Fall. Now I have 3 extra weapons in each slot. What are they? Well, I think you know the reason for Half Truths. Eager Edge. If I wanted to get across to someplace quick, Half Truths would do the job. Simple. Hothead. This one's got Field Prep Clown cartridge. There's no impact casing, sadly, but you can't always get what you want. So Hothead's there for an alternative DPS option, just in case Galahorn or any of my other DPS options aren't viable for a certain boss. And Whisper's been proven to be good. Back in D1, when it was called Black Spindle, Whisper was proven to be good against Golgoroth and War Priest, because they had decent crits to hit and White Nail procking pretty often. Whisper was a good option to go for. In the energy slots, let's say I couldn't do much damage, or I couldn't do much with ad clear for the opening encounter. I could go to Commemoration and Unforgiven and depending on how the ad clearing situation is, I could either swap to Witherhoard right there, or I could swap to Agus Scepter. It just depends on the ad clearing situation. And the same goes with the energy weapons. I could swap over from Unforgiven, or I could swap over to Callous Mini Tool. That's pretty self-explanatory. I did explain a little bit as why Peace of Mind is there, just in case Unstop Ogres happen to show up in Oryx, and Uzume if Anti-Barrier Knights show up at Totems. So there is my Day 1 raid loadout for Kingsfall. I hope you all enjoy, and I'll see you guys in the raid race.